What's up, everyone? It's Hey John, and I jabber opportunities nonstop. And my God, are we all taking a haircut today? It sure looks like it. But you know what? It's okay. We all need a haircut every now and then. Today, we will be discussing Evergrow coin. There's actually some glimmer of hope and some good news, and there's a rational explanation on why it's pulling back. And the reasoning may be as silly as you think it is. And of course, I will be covering Bitcoin because you know Bitcoin is the big dog market leader. Let's go. Let's start off here, folks. Currently, the Bitcoin Fear Index is at 23, and to me, that is not a bad thing. We're seeing the fear being lifted. And do you know why? Simply put, if you get fearful for too long, you get accustomed to it. Let's say you play a game and you die for the first time in the game, you freak out, you overreact, but the more and more you die, then guess what? You stop reacting to it and it is normal. And you say, you know what? I'm fine with it. It's part of the game. I'm learning and I realize that. And this is what the Bitcoin hodlers are starting to realize. Okay, folks, we are tapping that 40,000 support line over and over. You know what it is? Old news. I seen it last year, many months. I'm okay, folks. Let's go ahead and buy that dip. Let's go ahead and check out the Bitcoin liquidations here. Check it out. $245 million sold. This is why you're seeing Bitcoin pull back, because in my opinion, again, you are seeing the retailers sell, not so much the Michael Saylors and the Teslas, but retailers. And they are selling on the CEX. Now, if you look at the OTC market, you're going to see, guess what, folks? You're going to see people buy it up and reduce the illiquid supply. And when they buy it on the OTC market, you do not know what price you're paying because it's not on the CEX. There's no books for it. You could potentially be buying it for 1 penny for all you know. But of course, that isn't the case. But my point being is that we are removing illiquid supply from the market. Meanwhile, the price is decreasing. This is a conundrum. In my opinion, there's a very good reason for that. Okay, folks, we are now looking at Bitcoin from a weekly perspective here. We can see we broke through and below the long-term upward trend line, and we are now testing the 40,828 support line. The reason why I'm using the weekly is because we can get a better view of what's going on in a more consolidated fashion instead of seeing all of the mumbo jumbo and all the noise. And currently on a weekly, we're still in a bearish position. So this means that if we continue this oversold momentum, we could potentially get to 37.87 or even 33.87 on the weekly RSI indicator. Now, if that happens, in my opinion, this means we may test $35,000. So let me go ahead and draw that for you guys. Again, we may test $35,397. And if that breaks through, then the next support line will be $30,079. And ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, folks, even though we're seeing the difference between the illiquid supply and the price being sold off, this simply means retailers are selling and big buyers are buying OTC. So now that we can see people are getting used to the fear and they are starting to buy a dip. However, though, on a weekly time frame, we're still showing weakness because we're still moving in a downward fashion and it's showing lots of negativity. The next question here is, where is Bitcoin going? And before I mention to you guys, 35,000, and if that breaks down, we're looking at $30,000. And at that point in time, if we get at around there, ladies and gentlemen, I suspect we're going to see a huge buying momentum and it'll turn it around sooner rather than later. And this is why I always emphasize patience and DCA, dollar cost averaging. That is the best solution for any cryptocurrency, any asset you trade. People have been doing this for a long time, and everyone who is very successful, they do DCA. Of course, there's a handful who just go all in and they get lucky, and that's fantastic too. But for the majority of folks, DCA is the best strategy. I myself practice it, and that is why I keep on explaining it and sharing with you guys. So hopefully you guys get out of the day trader mentality and get into the investment mentality. Goldman predicts the Fed will hike rates 4 times this year, more than previously expected. Petition for $2,000 in monthly stimulus checks has 3 million signatures. Americans need some certainty, says restaurateur who started it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing that the virus is still expanding its growth. We are seeing the stock markets pull back. We're seeing Goldman Sachs calling for 4 rate hikes, and that is a high indicator of too much inflation. So let's go ahead and see the CPI markets coming up soon. And now we are seeing calls for UBI, Universal Basic Income, of $2K per month, and we're seeing over 3 million signatures. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while some folks may say this is very un-American, you have to understand that automation is the biggest job displacement. And these companies that automate, well, guess what? They have a smaller workforce and they have insane amount of revenue. And the reason why is because they are displacing human workers with their autonomous robots who get programmed by a few engineers. Let's go ahead and look at the crypto markets as a whole. We can see Bitcoin is down 11% for the week. Ethereum is down a whopping 20% for the week. And most importantly, BNB is what I want to cover today. It's currently at $418, down for 5% of the day and down 19.3% for the week. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now looking at Evergrow coin from a daily perspective. We can see the current price is around 10.60. And do not forget, folks, Evergrow coin is pegged to, guess what? BNB. So when you see BNB decrease its value, then by definition, Evergrow coin will also decrease its value due to being pegged to each other. It's similar to being pegged to the US dollar, right? In this case here, we're seeing the cryptocurrency market having a rout because there is calls for regulations coming later and very soon to this year. And when this happens, you're going to see other cryptocurrencies start to do something called consolidation. We've seen it in the stock market during the tech bubble, and the cryptocurrency market is in a similar situation. Check it out, folks. This is what Creator looks like currently. And they are adding something called stories. It was once a Twitter feature where you can literally have a small clip of videos play together. And we're seeing this familiar interface. It reminds me of Facebook, was a little bit of other platforms all being integrated into one. It will definitely be very interesting to see how this all plays out. And I am very interested to see how will the 10 major influencers actually influence the Creator platform. Gift Evergrow competition is now closed. We will spend a little time now assessing the most successful entries to draw up a shortlist. Then it will go down to a vote. Evergrow coin #1 trending on KuCoin. Who's excited for Creator beta? Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing some extremely good news for Evergrow coin. In my opinion, this pullback is literally due to being pegged to BNB. And then when folks see a little red, then guess what? They start to sell as well, and they continue the snowball action. But in my opinion, there is no need to be selling right now. Evergrow coin is fundamentally very sound and very strong. We're seeing the Evergrow coin Creator beta starting to be released very soon to other YouTubers, etc., to get a test of. And now we're seeing Evergrow coin trending. And this explains why we are seeing more and more searches on Google or any search engine for Evergrow coin. Because when people actually do their jobs and they go vote, then guess what? When you go on these other platforms, the other websites, then there is more exposure to Evergrow coin, thereby increasing your investment. Because when you get more eyes on it, people are going to look up on YouTube Evergrow coin and they may see my video, and I'm educating folks. I'm telling you guys the news. I'm giving you guys the technical analysis. So I suspect that when BNB increases its value, we're going to see EGC by definition also increase its value. And when it goes green, people are going to buy it because people like to buy green and they like to sell red. It's a very strange phenomenon, but it's all psychology. People like to chase the green and they like to sell the red because they believe in buying in strength, and they get scared and they sell at the bottom. And this is why the majority of traders are unsuccessful, because they do not understand the psychology of trading. It's actually the flip side. You buy red and you sell green, which means you buy low, you sell high. But for the majority of folks, they have the mentality of buy high and sell low. I don't know how your bank account looks, but I encourage you to dollar cost average and invest instead, because most folks are not good day traders. It is not me throwing shit at anyone. There are always an exception to the story, but I would say 95% usually fail. So do yourself a favor and do not be a part of that statistic. Get $250 in Bitcoin, get $25 in Crow, get 2 free stocks courtesy of WEBULL. All links down below in my description, and use those referral codes. Leave the keyword down below of salsa because things are getting caliente and I want to know who are the real ones, and most importantly, have an awesome day and I will catch you all on the next one.